138 and 139. Okay, I don't have, yeah, right, I'm not going to plug my computer in now. He's like, don't, because Mr. Brown's died. So we're just going to have to write it down when I say it, okay? So go ahead and turn your books. Send Me was written by Christina Rossetti. You want to mark her. She is an author to know. Christina Rossetti, for those of you distant learning, thank you for being patient. We're having even more technical difficulties today. So we are in page 138 and 139 in our literature books, okay? 138 and 139. Okay, so Christina Rossetti, you want to know her. She is an author to know for your quizzes or whatever. But the theme of this, you want to write it down in your notes, write it down somewhere on the page. The theme of this work is seeking God's will, seeking God's will. No matter who we are or where we are or whatever limitations that we have, obviously we're only human. God wants us to know that he could still use us. And actually in the Bible, a lot of times he used even the weakest of people and the smallest of people. Joey, give me your phone. Or the calculator, okay? I don't even know why you need a calculator in English class. Set it there, okay? Oh, I was saying, sorry, I forgot what I was saying, since I was distracted. I was saying, even in the Bible, how God used even the least of the people, okay? So obviously we know King David. He was the youngest of his brethren. He was the smallest of his brethren, yet he became someone who was even modeled after the heart of God. And he obviously killed Goliath. God used him. God used a whole bunch of people who even were the least in their families. So Christina Rosetti's prayer in this poem is she wants God to use her where he would have her. So let's go ahead and read it together. Not out loud, but just follow along. Use me, O God, in thy great harvest field, which stretcheth far and wide like a wide sea. The gatherers are so few. I fear the precious yield will suffer loss. Oh, find a place for me, a place where best the strength I have will tell. It may be one the older toilers shun, be it a wide or narrow place, 'tis well, so that the work it holds be only done. She's basically saying, wherever you want to send me, send me. Okay, so Christina Rossetti, she is a person to know. Look at her, meet the author. Christina Rossetti was a faithful Christian who came from a loving and artistic home in London, England. After the death of her father, Rossetti spent her time caring for her mother and writing poetry. Between the years of 1862 and 1866, she published 2 books of poetry. Just some other facts about her. At the very last sentence, by the end of her life, Christina Rossetti had become one of the most important English poets of her day. Many years later, the works of Christina Rossetti still touch the hearts of many people. So that is Send Me. Make sure you know the theme is Seeking God's Will. Seeking God's Will, Christina Rossetti is an author to know. So mark her, okay? So Send I You. In this one, we kind of see this where it differs. Obviously, they are serving Christ still, kind of like one of the themes in Send Me. But this one, so Send I You, was written by John W. Peterson and Margaret Clarkson. The theme of this is the joy of serving Christ. Okay, the joy of serving Christ. Make sure you write this down as well. If you guys look in your intro, it says many times it's easy to get caught up in life's distractions and to lose focus of our true purpose of the shining light of Christ and bringing lost souls to him. 1 Corinthians 15:58 says, Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Okay, so this is just saying that Bible verse is basically talking about just press on, because whatever you're doing for Christ, it's not in vain, it's not useless. Just keep on going. Read how the poet captures not only the task of God's children, but also the joy we receive when we choose to live for him. Okay, so that's where the theme comes in of the joy of serving Christ. Okay, so let's read this poem together. So send I you, by grace made strong to triumph o'er host of hell, or darkness, death, and sin, my name to bear, and in that name to conquer. So send I you my victory to win. As the Father hath sent me, so send I you. This one's talking about, he's saying, the same name that you're bearing is the same name that will conquer. So send I you to take the soul to souls in bondage, the word of truth that sets the captives free, to break the bonds of sin, to loose death's fetters. So send I you to bring the lost to me. As the Father hath sent me, so send I you. So send I you my strength to know in weakness, my joy in grief, my perfect peace in pain, to prove my power, my grace, my promised presence. So send I you eternal fruit to gain. As the Father has sent me, so send I you. And in this stanza, he's basically saying, send I you, and with you, my strength will go with you, my joy when you guys have trials, my perfect peace when you guys have pain. So he's not just going to send us just to send us and leave us, to suffer by ourselves or to be on our own. When he sends us, he will also enable us to do a lot of things. And when he enables us, he will also be with us through all of our trials, through all of the good times and of the bad times. Okay, look at the last stanza. So send I you to bear my cross with patience, and then one day with joy to lay it down, to hear my voice, well done, my faithful servant. Come share my throne, my kingdom, and my crown. As the Father has sent me, so send I you. So basically, our whole life's work is, when we serve God, is to be rewarded in heaven one day. And one day he'll say, well done, my good and faithful servant. And that is the joy of serving Christ. Obviously, nothing's going to be perfect on earth when we serve him. Some people may make fun of you. Some people may persecute you. Some people may think you're crazy. But serving Christ will be worth it all in the end. Yes, Brianna? The theme is the joy of serving Christ. Okay? Tonight for homework, read pages 140 to 144. 140 to 144. Okay? Witness to the Wairani. Okay? If I'm butchering that, I am sorry. But this is written by Rachel Saint. Okay? Rachel Saint, she was one of the missionaries that were sent to the Aka Indians, I believe, and then a lot of people were killed by the Aka Indians. So just make sure you read this. It's from the Dayuma story, so make sure that you're looking through the events, and then also just noting all the plots in the end. Okay? So Witness to the Wairani, tonight for homework, page 140 to 144. Okay, are there any questions? All right, go ahead and put that away. Take out your spelling. We are going to read over our new list. I will have our quiz graded for you tomorrow. I've just been grading a lot of papers the last couple of days, but that will be graded for you so you can see that tomorrow. But list number 11, page number 30 in your vocab books. List number 11, girls, I'll reprint this one again. Joey, I'll print it for you too. But list 11, okay? List 11. So look at our vocabulary, okay? I'm going to read the vocab word. Please read out loud the definition, okay? Nice and loud. Number 1, aptitude. Number 2, discern. Distinguish, perceive, recognize. Number 3, impromptu. Number 4, loiter. Dawdle, okay? Aimlessly or idly linger, dawdle. Number 5, more. Anchor, secure. Number 6, perpetual. Lasting, permanent. Number 7, phenomenon. Wonder, extremely unusual occurrence. Number 8, rendezvous. Number 9, reservoir. Number 10, unceremoniously. Good. Okay, so tonight you're doing 6 through 10 2 times. 6 through 10 2 times. Joey, sorry about that. I won't count you against you since you don't have this list, since our homework was 1 through 5 on Tuesday. You did? Oh, good. Awesome. Look at that. Initiative. Okay. Tonight is 6 through 10. I'll make a copy for you. And then girls, is it any different for you girls? Definitions? Okay, I'll just do that again for you, okay? All right, so tonight, 6 through 10 twice. Okay, and last but not least, let's take our grammar books out. Go to page 88 in your green book. And then I believe in your blue book is page 103, I want to say. Nope, 105. 104 and 105, sorry, page 87 in the green book, okay? Page 87, before we move on to active and passive. Okay, so let's observe verb consistency, okay? Observe verb consistency, all right? The one rule is this: when you are writing, select one tense and do not change to a different tense without good reason. If you begin writing in past tense, don't switch to the present. If you begin with the present, don't switch to the past, okay? This is just consistency, okay? So if you're writing about something that happened yesterday, all your verbs are not going to be in the present tense, okay? So you're not going to say, yesterday I walk to the store and I buy this, okay? That doesn't make any sense. Yesterday I walked to the store and I bought fruit. Okay, so you want to keep things consistent, especially when you start off in the past. Okay, you want to keep things in the past, and then if you need to switch over to the present, then that's when you say, today I did this, all right, when you're writing. So look at your examples, okay? Not consistent, okay? Look at the green book. Sorry for those of you in the blue book. We'll just keep on, we'll go back and forth. Daisy writes her paper and put it in a folder. Okay, same thing. William grabs the pass and fell down. All right, so that's not really consistent. Obviously, grabs or writes is present. Then the second verb, fell or put it in a folder, is past. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. You want to keep things consistent. Okay, so it would be Daisy wrote her paper and put it into a folder. William grabbed the pass and fell down. Okay, same thing. Destiny, since Destiny plays volleyball, she wore knee pads. Okay, not consistent. Whenever he goes out for a walk, he stopped to talk. Okay, not consistent. So you want to keep those verbs consistent. So what consistency would be, since Destiny plays volleyball, she wears knee pads. Or since she played volleyball, she wore knee pads. Or whenever he went out for a walk, he stopped to talk. Or whenever he goes out for a walk, he stops to talk. So make sure your verbs are the same tense, okay? Whether past, present, or future. All right, let's do exercise A. Exercise A. Okay, Polycarp, an ancient Christian, served as the bishop of Smyrna for many years. Okay, let's look at that first sentence. Is there anything that we need to change there? Polycarp, an ancient Christian, served. What tense is that, class? Past, as the bishop for many years. Okay, is there anything that we need to change there? No? No? Yes or no, class? No. Good. Okay. So one thing that'll help you is if you find the verbs. Okay, so let's find the verbs within the second sentence. In his youth, okay, he listens to the preaching of the apostle and is converted from paganism. Okay, what are my verbs there? Let's go with Tyler. What are my verbs? Why aren't you there yet? Page 87. We turned back a page. Okay. So let's go with someone else. Sorry, Micah. In his youth, he listens to the preaching of the gospel and is converted from paganism. Okay. And is. Okay. Should that sentence be in present form? Polycarp was an ancient Christian and he served as a bishop. And when it's talking about his youth, is that something to the present? Yes or no, class? No. So what tense do we need to change it to, class? Past. So how would I change that to the past, Brianna? Listens to listened with an ED. Okay. And then what else would I change there, Brianna? He listened to the preaching of the Apostle John and is converted from paganism. What would I change? Chase? Is to was. Okay, everything needs to be in the past. Okay, good. In his old age, however, he is captured by Roman soldiers. Okay, is Polycarp someone alive today? So Polycarp, we're talking about someone in the what class? In the past. So these need to be past. So what would be my past form within this sentence? In his old age, however, he is captured by Roman soldiers. Jaden? Is to was. Good. Okay. The preconsul directs him to curse Christ, but Polycarp refuses to blaspheme his Lord. Hudson, do I change anything there? In his old age, we already did this, the preconsul directs him to curse Christ. Good. Directs to directed. Okay. And then, but Polycarp refuses to blaspheme his Lord. Cody? What's my verb? But Polycarp refuses to blaspheme his Lord? Okay, what's my verb? Where are you? Right here. But Polycarp refuses to blaspheme his Lord. Right here. What's my verb there? Good, refuses. Okay, do I need to change that? Really? What tense is refuses? Okay, so what do I need to change it to? With a D? Yes, refused. Okay. Change refuses to refused. Okay, but Polycarp refused to blaspheme his Lord, declaring, 86 years have I served Christ. How then can I blaspheme my king who has saved me? Am I changing anything there, class? Nope, that's correct. Okay, then the preconsul condemned, well, I just gave you that one. Condemns is changed to condemned, Polycarp to death. As he dies, Polycarp prays aloud. Let's go with Aaron. Since we're all in the past, as he dies, Polycarp prays aloud. Okay, look at the word dies. What tense is that? Present. So if we're changing it to past, how do we change it? Good. Okay. As he died, Polycarp prays. What tense is praise? Present. So what do we change it to? Past. So how do I change it to past? Prayed. Good. As he died, Polycarp prayed aloud. Good. Last sentence, or the last few sentences. In his prayer, Polycarp thanks the Lord that he is deemed worthy to receive the crown of martyrdom. Tyler? Thanks to thanked. What else? Not quite. Polycarp thanked the Lord that he is deemed worthy to receive the crown of martyrdom. What tense is the word is? So what do I need to change it to? Okay, so what would I change is to? Was. Good. Polycarp thanked the Lord that he was deemed worthy to receive the crown of martyrdom. Then the last sentence, he counts the opportunity to die for Christ a privilege. Let's go with John. Good. Counts to counted. Okay? Awesome. Okay? And then we are low on time. So tonight for homework, I want you to read page 88. Read page 88, okay? Just read it. We will go over it tomorrow. Okay? Read page 88 in your grammar books, and then that would be page 105, using active and passive voice. Okay? And we'll go over that in grammar tomorrow. So tonight for homework, your literature, page 140 to 144. Vocab, definitions, number 6 through 10, twice. Okay? Words and definitions, number 6 through 10. Okay? Are there any questions? All right, you guys are... Oof. Yeah, you guys are dismissed. You have 2 minutes. Jose, yes, I sent it to you, and I announced it yesterday. So, over verb tenses, and thank you. Please send that in by the end of the day. I'm going to type the homework in a second, okay?
And it's not on here. Deactivate, activate. Cool. Okay. How about now? Ah, great. I got to do all that again. No, that would have happened anyway. All right. Here we go. Let's try this again. Welcome to pre-algebra. We're in 4.3 on page 149. As you turn there, couple due date changes that you need to be aware of. Your Chapter 4 Review A is now due Wednesday of next week instead of Monday, seeing as there's no school on Monday. Minor details. Quiz 14 was announced to be tomorrow, and that is also moved to Wednesday. So I just want to mention those two things there, but we're going to get straight onto page 149 because now I've started class twice. Yes, how can I help you? No. I'm opting not to do the optional section. It's not that it's not important, it's just I don't care right now. All right, 4.3. It's the reality of it. Whether a word problem has one or many unknowns, the basic steps for solving word problems remain the same. Consider the word problem below. A bus has a total of 40 passengers. If there are 6 more boys than girls on the bus, find the number of girls and the number of boys that are riding the bus. Now, recall that the first step to an algebraic word problem is to read for understanding and represent the unknowns. There are 2 unknowns which need to be represented algebraically. We're going to need to be able to represent the number of boys and the number of girls. Okay? We're going to have to represent both those things algebraically. And you're like, well, how do we do that? And no, we don't just use, B and G or something. We need to be able to represent them with one variable so that we can actually solve something. Okay? You guys don't know how to do it with more than one variable yet. Okay? That's much later. Okay? Much later. Okay, anyway. So we need to look at how to do this. Okay, and it's actually pretty simple here. Usually, the unknown with the least information given about it should be represented with a variable. So let's reread the problem, and I want you guys to listen whether we know more about the boys or girls, because the opposite one is going to get the variable. Okay? So whichever one we know less about. If there are 6 more boys than girls, so which do I know more about, boys or girls? Boys, so I know less about girls, right? So we will let girls be G. Okay? Then, we are told there's 6 more boys than girls. So how would I represent 6 more boys? G plus 6. Okay? So you just have to go through and read it, figure out which ones you know less about, because then that's going to be your variable. And then you're going to go through and solve, or then you're going to go through and be able to set things up. Next, we write and solve an equation. So now let's read the problem. A bus had a total of 40 passengers. So total means what operation? Add. Okay? So we're going to have G plus 6 equals 40. Okay? We're number of girls plus number of boys, which is G plus 6, equals 40. Now, the parentheses are used whenever we plug in, okay, and it's a quantity together. That's to represent it's a single thing. Just in case there's something we're going to need to do to that single thing before we can start on the equation. Now, in this problem, is there anything we need to do to those parentheses? It's not a trick question. It's yes or no? No. Okay? And that's not a trick question. There's nothing to be done to those parentheses. We're distributing a positive 1, but that doesn't do anything. Okay? So we can just drop them, but we always write them first to make sure that there's not something that needs to be done that we would have missed. Okay? Does that make sense? When you're plugging in a single quantity, you always need it inside parentheses if it's more than one term. I don't need that knee. It's completely optional. Whew, okay. All right, so let's go through and simplify. All right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get rid of the parentheses. Really? Whoa, hello. I forgot I lowered the... All right. So we have G plus 6 equals 40. All right, so what's the next thing I should do? Combine the G's. Good. So I end up with 2G plus 6 equals 40. Okay? Now at this point, we can go through and start solving because we have a single equation. And so we're going to subtract 6 from both sides. And then we get 2G is equal to, what's 40 minus 6? 34. Okay? Then, we're going to divide both sides by 2. And we get, how many girls are there? 17. Have I answered the question? No. What does the question say? How many boys and girls? So, as our answer, we would put there are 17 girls and how many boys? Nope. Guys, 23, yes, thank you. And 23 boys. Okay, it's 17 plus 6. Okay, number of girls plus 6. Yes? Cool. I'm going to undo that because I wrote that really horribly as far as mathematically, but yes. Okay, so there are 23 boys and 17 girls on the bus. Now, we do double check before we box it and move on to the next question. 17 plus 23, quick sanity check is 40, okay, which is what we should have. Awesome. 23 minus 17 is 6. Okay, we double check that we actually met the qualifications of the question, okay, because every now and then something will get messed up along the way and we may not notice and keep doing what we're supposed to be doing, and then you get down and you put a nonsense answer. Okay, double check that your answer makes sense. Okay, that's all we need to do. So, representing unknowns. We're on page 150 now. Representing unknowns. One of the keys to solving algebraic word problems is representing the unknowns using one variable. The table below gives a few examples, please stop, of how to represent unknown quantities. Leah is 9 years younger than Josiah. Well, we can say Josiah's age is J, and then Leah's age is J minus 9. If we have 3 consecutive numbers, okay, that's one that's going to come up a lot because Rebecca really likes those problems for some reason. And so in that case, you're going to start with number n. How do you get to the next number? Plus 1. Okay, if I'm at 13, I'm going to go to 14. I'm just going to keep adding 1. So if I have 3 consecutive numbers, I'm going to have n, n plus 1, and n plus 2. Okay, because n plus 1 plus 1 basically is what you keep doing. Does that make sense? All right, so that's that example there. Following April, the number of tourists tripled for each of the next 2 months. So we have the tourists in April. In the next month, it would be triple that, so 3 times the tourists in April. And then the next month would be triple that, so 3 times 3t or 9t. Does that make sense? So that's your example there on page 150. Okay, wasn't it my mouth? I don't know. Anyway, beards. All right, example 4.3. Hold on. Yes, part A. Okay, that's right. That's as far as I want to get today. All right, example 4.3, part A. Let's look at this. Okay, and because we're going to do parts B and C tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to break this down a little bit. So we're told the sum of 3 consecutive numbers. So we already talked about this. How do I represent 3 consecutive numbers? Yeah, number plus 1 plus 2. Okay, so I'm going to let first number is n, second number is n plus, is n plus 1, and the third number is equal to n plus 2. Okay, and so that's the idea here. And so we now have those 3 consecutive numbers. The sum means add. Okay, so I'm going to have n plus 1 plus n plus 2. And it says is 189, so equals 189. And then it asks what are the 3 numbers. So I'm going to get down to a single number at the end of this equation. Okay, but then I have to go back and tell it the other 2. Okay, pretty easy to do though. All right. So first of all, we have that. Are the parentheses doing anything essential here? Is there anything outside them that needs to be distributed? No. Okay, that's fine, but we always write it in there just in case. All right. So we can go through and just completely remove those. So we have n plus 1 plus n plus 2. I do apologize for my handwriting. This is kind of hard to get going here. All right. So I have how many n's? So 3 n's plus 3. Good. 1 plus 2. And equals 189. Now we can start solving. Okay. See, these things start out looking really big and nasty things, right? But then as soon as you just combine a couple like terms, it's not bad. All right. So that's the thing with this kind of problem is it's going to look horrible at the beginning. You just have to remember, appearances aren't everything, okay? Just like real life. You can't just judge how someone's going to be by their appearance. Okay. You can't just judge how someone's going to be like their appearance. For example, little kids, really scared of me. No idea why. Okay, other than I'm a giant compared to them. Okay, I'm huge compared to them. Okay, and in more than one direction. Okay, like I am a giant compared to little kids, and I understand it. So I always try to give them a little bit of space, but they'll look at me like, please don't hurt me. It's gotten better since I've had kids, because I know kind of how to approach kids better. That sounds weird. I work at a school, okay? Like, I can't have kids, like, freaking out about me walking down the hallway. So, like, I know kind of how to handle it better. Let's put it that way. Moving on. You all know what I mean, okay? Goodness. All right. So that's something there, okay? But just based on my appearance, those kids have made a decision about me. And you learn over time that you can't make that kind of decision. Oh, goodness. This started as a good illustration. Anyway, this looks like a big, scary math problem that's going to trample you. You just got to take a breath and take one step at a time, okay? Because honestly, I think I am. I'm fairly nice, okay, unless you're in car lineup and, just trying to run me over. Anyway, so that's kind of the issue there, okay? So, like, it's one of those things. It's not a horrible problem. It just looks horrible at the beginning, okay? That's the issue. All right, so first things first, let's go ahead and do what? We're going to subtract 3 from both sides. All right, so I get 3n is equal to 189 minus 3, which is 186. We're going to divide both sides by? Good. And I get? Okay, 62. Now, real quick, am I done? No. So, the 3 numbers are 62, 63, 64. That's all you have to put for an answer for this. You don't have to say the 3 numbers are. Okay, you just need to list the 3 numbers. Okay? What? Okay, they're consecutive numbers, so we're going to go up one each time. So 62, 63, 64. And if we were to double check and add those, we would get 189, so we're good. All right, that's how you just double check that. You just real quick add them together. All right, that's where we're going to stop as far as examples go. Go to page 152. Page 152. And here we go. Stop trying to fall off. We need numbers 1 through 10. Okay. All right, we're going to do some practice problems real quick together as a class. I'm really only going to hit a few of these because you guys need to be able to have time for homework and things like that. So we're splitting this up over 2 days, so you guys are going to have plenty of time. Let's get started, though. Practice 4.3, number 1. A walk-in clinic received 7 more patients on Monday than on Tuesday. If the total number of patients seen on both days was 43, how many patients were seen on Monday? We're only interested in Monday, and this is actually a scenario that might happen. Mondays can be crazy, so maybe you forgot to log exactly how many people came through. Like, you have the patient files, you could go count, but why? Okay, it's probably easier to figure it out. Okay, between the 2 days you have this many patients, and you can go from there. So. Walk-in clinic received 7 more patients on Monday than on Tuesday. So first of all, which one do I know less about, Monday or Tuesday? I got mixed answers there. We know less about Tuesday because I have 7 more on Monday. All right, so we're going to represent this with Monday and Tuesday. Well, let's let number of patients on Tuesday equal T. And then Monday, if it's 7 more patients on Monday than on Tuesday, how do I represent that for Monday? T plus 7. Okay, again, notice the tail on the T, there's a reason. All right, I know the total of patients on both days was 43. Okay, so total means add. So I'm going to take Monday, T plus 7, and add it to Tuesday, and that's going to equal, I lied, 43. Okay, and T is one of those variables that you may or may not be advised to use, but we're going to use it here. Do the parentheses do anything? No. Okay, that's okay. Now, so far we have not seen an example where they do something. Still keep the step in there because later on it's going to. Okay, so I'm teaching the step now, even though it's not as important, so that way you're in the habit for when it is important. Does that make sense? So I promise you it does come up quite a bit. Just trust me, with the years and years of experience I have teaching math. You need it, okay? All right, so we have T plus 7 plus T equals 43. Well, then how many T's do I have? 2. So I have 2T plus 7 equals 43. I switched pens at the wrong time, but oh well. All right, so we're going to subtract 7 from both sides. And I get that 2t is equal to what? Y'all are helpful.
36.
Seems right. 36. Wait, that doesn't seem right. Not compared to the answer I'm given. Huh? 36? Yeah, that's what I have.
T equals 18. It's 36.
Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling you the book has a different answer than what we would get if 2t equals 36. So, hold on. Oh, no, wait, we're solving for Tuesday. Ha. Okay, moving on. You're right. All right, divide by 2. Divide by 2. I mean, I knew the division was right, or the subtraction was right. I was just like, this isn't working. It is. It's working just fine. We're going to have to add 7 at the end. All right, so t is equal to? 18. So if t is equal to 18, I'm not asked about t, though. So what is 18 plus 7? 25. So there are 25 patients. That's an E, I promise. Okay, on Monday. But 25 patients is how you need to answer it. Okay, just include a unit. Don't just tell me 25, because otherwise 25 what? 25 inches, centimeters, patients, students, teachers, cars, apples, oranges, kumquats, shrubs, stickmen. Like, what do we mean? All right, computers. Yeah, no kidding. All right, so make sure you guys include a unit with your answers for story problems. I still have 20 minutes. Cool. All right, number... do you guys understand the consecutive numbers fine?
I don't understand how to set the problem up. Yeah, like how do you find all the information and just know exactly? Yeah,
First of all, it's practice, which I know is not super helpful, but like the reason why I'm recognizing it like that is because I've been doing this for years. Can you not do that? Okay, anyway, let's just look at this. Number 2. Okay, we're going to go through this step by step. What? Like this. Okay, so let's go through setting up the problem. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, does that make sense? Like, I'm going to try to walk through that part slower, because I think we all got it once the problem's set up. It's getting the problem set up. So, gentlemen, let's make sure we're not talking at all. Get out a pencil and pay attention. If it's on the screen and it's not an example printed in your book, you should be writing it down. Because that was number 1. So you should probably have auto sheet of paper too. Yeah. Okay, anyway. All right, number 2, let's talk about how to walk through this. Okay, we are told the sum of 2 consecutive whole numbers is 35. What are the numbers? Okay, so let's stop and think about it. Consecutive numbers, how do I represent those? The number and then the number plus 1, right? Okay, so that's how we're setting it up. We are going to write down, let number 1 be n, and number 2 be n plus 1. Okay, that's the idea. That's how we're getting the setup. Does that make sense? I don't understand how it doesn't make sense when you're the one who gave me the answer. Yeah, I asked you how do we set up consecutive numbers. You said n plus 1.
How do you know how to add or divide or whatever?
So then you read the problem. Okay, notice that every time I'm going back to reading the problem. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's look at the problem. It says the sum of 2 consecutive whole numbers is 35. So what's the key word in that sentence, Bella? And I'm just going to like straight up ask you questions this problem. Yeah. It says the sum, so that means add. Does that make sense? Okay, so I'm going to add the 2 together. So I'm going to have the first number plus the second number. Does that make sense? Okay, because that's what the problem told us to do. This is where I'm getting the information. I'm just doing what the problem told me to do. Okay, does that make sense? And I'm not trying to oversimplify, but that really is all I'm doing. Okay, then what do I write? Good. We don't have 3 consecutive numbers. It says 2. You only go as far as you need to. If there were 4, you'd do n plus 3, and so on. Okay, that's it. That's the equation. Now we just solve. Okay, so we have n plus 1 equals 35. And I'm just going to scribble through this because we need help on the setup. Okay, so we're going to subtract 1, subtract 1. 2n equals 34, which then means n equals 17. Now, again, I'm not done, though. Okay, so what should I write for my answer? No, I want Bella to answer. I want, yeah. Yeah, that's not a problem. No, it doesn't. We're on number 2. We're on number 2. Whole numbers. There you go. Pro tip number 1, read the right problem. All right. Seriously, it happens to me way more than you think. Anyway, so whole numbers. Okay, so 17 is not a problem. Okay, so now what? Yeah, so we have 17 and 18. Those are our numbers. That's it. No, we're not adding. It's just 17 and 18. We just list both. 17 is the first number. The second number is 18. If you add it together, you get 35. Yes. When it says consecutive, yes. Now, we're going to look at number 3, and I'm going to slow that one down, and I'm going to do it because we haven't seen one like it yet. Okay? And we've seen similar, but there's a trick to it, and I'm going to show you guys the trick. Speaking of which, before I show you guys the trick, I should make sure the trick I'm about to do is the correct one. See, that's the thing. It's not that I don't know how to do it. It's I don't remember which way they want me to do it this time. Okay. Cool. Weird. All right, ready? Number 3. Let's read the problem first of all, and then we'll go through it, okay? The sum of 2 consecutive even numbers is 26. What are the 2 numbers? Okay, so first of all, it's going to be set up similar, but there's something that needs to be taken care of. So let's let n be number 1. Now let's say I start at 10. I'm just picking a number. It's not necessarily here. Okay, I'm picking 10. How do I get to the next even number? Add 2 instead of adding 1. So then, n plus 2 is number 2. Does that make sense? We're going to skip the next number because it's odd. So I need 2 consecutive even numbers. Does that make sense? That's really the only trick to this one. Okay? So how would I set up my equation, Brianna? Good. Okay? Are we seeing how to make an equation out of it now? Okay? Are you seeing how we're just looking at keywords, seeing what it tells us to do, and then doing it? Okay? That's all we're doing. Everything here is just keywords. Yes? What? I don't understand.
So you know at the end how we like do n plus 2?
Yeah.
N doesn't get n? I mean 2 doesn't get n?
No, you can't combine unlike terms. It just means it's not syncing at the moment. It's fine. Microsoft's just panicking. No big deal. All right, does that make sense? Like, we can't mix stuff that doesn't match. Okay? So, yes.
For answer, would we be writing what n equals or the 2 consecutive numbers?
The 2 consecutive numbers.
So it just doesn't matter what n equals, like you don't have to write that down?
I mean, I should see it in your work, but not as your answer, no. All right, let's go through and work this one out. So we can drop the parentheses because they're not doing anything. Okay? So how many n's do I have? 2. Again, you can't add a variable or an exponent through addition. Okay? So now we're going to subtract 2 from both sides. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We do that all the time. But that's addition, so it's not going to do it. Okay? So we get 2n is equal to 24. And then we divide both sides by 2. N is? You're fine. You're good. Okay. All right. Now, first check, is 12 even? Yes. Okay. Just we have to make sure. Okay. There was a trick that I was taught by a previous math teacher on how to make sure it'd be even, but they didn't do it in the book. So I don't know, and I'm not going to bother with it. So here we go. No, to make sure at the beginning. Yeah. But I don't think it was necessary. Please stop with the water bottle. You're driving me up the wall. No. Leave it closed. Set it off to the side. You've been crunching the thing for the last 5 minutes. Thank you. Okay. Anyway, so if n is 12, what's my next number? 14. Whoops. Rip. Let me just mash the numbers together. All right, 12 and 14, those are our 2 numbers. Okay? I've answered the question. They're consecutive even numbers. If I add them, we get 26. Okay? You'll notice a lot of times I write my answers right next to my given, or my writing my unknowns, because then everything's labeled right next to whatever it is. Yes? Yeah, but how would you know to subtract 12?
Because it says consecutive, adding 2 consecutive even numbers equals 26
Yes, but how would you know to start with 12?
at the end.
At the end, it's easier to do 12 plus 2. Or just go to the next even. Does that make sense? Like, it would be fine, but you follow me? Like, it's just unnecessary. I mean, you could go through and brute force it if you really wanted to. You know, try 2, try 4, try 6, and so on. Don't. Okay, some of these get really long. All right. Same trick if it's 2 consecutive odd numbers, like in number 4. We still have n plus 2. Okay, it's the same trick. It's just you end up with odds. Yeah. Okay, just double checking. All right, let's go to number 5. Okay, number 5. Let's read this. On a trip of 2,300 miles, a missionary went 9 times as far by plane as by car. How far did the missionary travel by plane? Okay, so we're only concerned about by plane. So reading that, which do I know less about? Do I know less about the plane or less about the car? The car. Okay, so here's how we know. We're told a missionary went 9 times as far by plane as by car. So I know if I multiply the distance of car by 9, I'll get the plane. Does that make sense? So I'm given more information about the plane. Okay, do you see how we're picking that? Okay, so then we'll let C equal car. And then again, it's 9 times as far by plane, so 9C. Okay, does that make sense? Minus the horrible handwriting, because I can't set my hand down on it. It's pretty rough. All right, but does that make sense? Do you see where we're getting stuff? Okay. We are. The easiest way to solve the equation is not necessarily mean you'll get straight to your answer. Does that make sense? So we're looking for the easiest way to solve the equation. Then we'll come back and answer the question. It may involve more than one step, and that's okay. It's either that or you're stuck making P plain, and then like your car is 9 over, or C over 9. Yeah. I mean, it's fine, but like, and you can. It's just not how we prefer to set it up. All right, so what should my equation look like, Ariana? You're close. We want C plus 9C. Car plus plane. Okay, does that make sense? And then what should it equal? I can't hear you. Yeah, 2,300. Okay, our total distance. Okay, do you see why it's plus 9c? We need car plus plane. If you wrote 9c plus c, that's fine as well. Okay, it doesn't matter because it's addition. All right, c plus 9c is 10c. Okay, we're going to divide both sides by 10. Whoops. Okay, which means that c is equal to 230 miles. It's all well and good, but does it answer my question? No. All right, so this is going to equal 230 miles. Wow. There we go, that's better. All right. Just do that. Okay. That's equal to 230 miles. Now, I can find plane two ways. What's one way? Multiply by 9, which is perfectly fine. That's actually how we would normally do it. But what's the other way? I'm just asking. There's two ways. And if you don't see it, it's fine. Yes? Sorry, there's two of you in a row. I didn't even realize that. Chase. Yeah, we can subtract 23 or 230 from 2300. Again, both are fine methods. Okay, and you were asking me about that last time. It's fine. You can do that. It's a matter of which one's easier. Okay. Personally, I think the times 9 is going to be easier. Yeah. But I'm just mentioning you could do it the other way. Okay, so times 9. 0. 9 times 3 is? 27, but okay. 9 times 3? 27. Okay, anyway. So we carry the 2. 9 times 2 is? Plus 2. So we have 2,070 miles. And that's the, whoops, that's an E. Sure. That's what we were asked for. Yes.
Couldn't we have just moved the 9 over to the 3 and added the 0?
Does it matter? Okay, I mean, I'm aware you can. That's not a problem. But, like, again, I'm just going to ask, did it matter in this problem? Did it save you any time? No, not really. That's my point. If it saves you time, please do. If it doesn't, why? Again, go for it. I don't care. It's fine. All right. It's perfectly allowed. Let's put it that way. All right. Let me see here. Number 6, I just want to point out, you have a first piece that's 4 inches shorter than the second piece. So do you see how you'd have x and then x minus 4 for the two pieces? If one piece is 4 inches shorter than the other piece, let x be one piece, x minus 4 be the other piece. And you'd set it up that way. I'm kind of talking through it now because we're out of time. Okay? 7 is 3 consecutive integers, so now you have 3 things. Same with odd. Again, if you're going 3 consecutive odd integers like number 8, notice how you're going to have n plus 2, n plus 4, because you're going to have to skip one every time. Does that make sense? Okay. Then, number 9 gets a bit trickier, but I think you guys could handle it. All right, so here's what you're going to do. Okay, homework 4.3, numbers 1 through 8. Huh? Homework, not practice. Homework 1.3, number 8. Sorry, numbers. Oh, my word. English. Yes, homework 4.3, numbers 1 through 8. No. Okay, it's only 8 problems. I want you guys to work through it. Okay, listen, take your time and set it up properly, okay? It's only impossible if you tell yourself it is, okay? Again, we talked about that the other day. You got to stop and think through, okay, what is it telling me to do? What operation is there? How would I set this up? There's examples given to you. We did several problems in class. You guys can do this, otherwise I wouldn't be asking you guys to, okay? Does that make sense? Okay? It's one of those things. I think you guys can handle this no problem. And then we'll get more into it tomorrow, where we talk about what to do in a certain other situation. Yes?
If we get stuck on them, can we wait after
Let me put it this way. If it's a single problem, that's fine. If it's the whole assignment, you need to try a little harder. Okay. Because again, there's only 8. So like, should be fine. But if you do get stuck on one of them, that's... Try. Do your best. Just do your best, and we could talk about what ifs all day. All I want you to do is your best. Okay? Fair enough? You got this. You're fine. Promise. All right, distance learners, I'll see you guys later.
All right, welcome distant learners. We had to have a little conversation in class today. Okay, but we are finished. Today we are not doing a lesson. I thought to give you guys a little bit break. We just finished a long chapter. Okay, it's a long chapter. We're not even going to have a quiz over the whole chapter. Okay, we had a quiz in the middle. Shh. We're not having a quiz over this whole chapter. All right? So again, I'm trying to treat you guys. You guys have been good for the most part. Okay, yesterday and then today, a little more of a struggle. Not just you guys, 9th and 10th grade too. They were good until yesterday, and then today, very talkative. All right, so but for today, okay, we have to be quiet. Once you're done, you may talk quietly. Okay, we're not on our phones. Okay, do your best to do that. All right, maybe during free hours, I'll let you be on your phones or something else, but not during class. All right, for homework / classwork. So discipliners, that's all we're doing today. We're going to have a homework assignment, but it'll be done in class. You can send that to me right away or turn everything in on Fridays. We are starting chapter 14. We are doing for homework. If we're starting chapter 14, what do you think? There we go. Okay, page 149. Page 149. Write it down. John, since you're back, I know you've been gone for a while. You need to be a little bit more responsible, not have a mess. Okay, pull out a sheet of paper. Write down this work. I don't want to have to repeat it 1,000 times. Everyone pull it out right now. All right, page 149. Section review, 14.1. Questions 1 through 4 all. Okay, before you say, why are you giving us all? Why can't we just do evens? All right, there's 4 questions. They're super easy. They're all super easy. The first question is literally, how did Luther counsel the nobles and the common people? It's 2 pages long. You go to, Luther. Replying to the articles, Luther addressed the remarks both to the peasants and the nobles. Okay, and the answers in that paragraph. All right, they're very easy. Okay, for the essay, okay, I will give it to you guys in about 5 to 10 minutes. I want you to start the section review first. All right, are there any questions? Okay, yes. You're already done? You can turn it in. I'll announce the essay here shortly, so you can work on something else till then. All right, before we start, though, we are going to pray. So are there any prayer requests? Any real prayer requests?
Not in the room prayer requests. She put her cat in the dryer.
Any real prayer requests? Pray for Emily. I believe she's still out of the country. Keep her safe. Keep her family safe through that time. Yes, ma'am. And unspoken. I also have an unspoken. My friend, his name's Adam Fries. He's going through a tough life crisis. So pray for him if you could. His name is Adam. Any other prayer requests? All right, let's pray, and we will start those assignments. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for today, Lord. Thank you for the wonderful weather you've given us this week. Thank you for the basketball, to be able to start that back up, have practices and games. Thank you for the girls and guys that are working hard out there day in and day out. Please help us just have a fun year, learning the game, getting to hang out with friends, traveling. But for this to be a start, for us to be a little bit more serious about it. So that means in our free time during the summer, working on it, trying to be the best we can be at everything we do. Please help all these students, Lord, in this assignment. Trying to give them maybe a day off of doing notes and handwriting, and just have a little homework, finish it, be able to have a night off on that as well. Please help all the basketball teams traveling tomorrow, give us safety of a trip and safety playing the other team, as there's always a risk with that. Please help all the distant learners, for them to stay on top of all their work, to be focused, to be consistent, to always ask questions. Please help Destiny's unspoken, Lord, and please help my unspoken as well with my friend Adam. Also, please help this class, Lord, for the rest of the week, and to finish off that grading period strong, to make sure we get those grades up if they're too low. Please help everything. Please help this weekend, Lord, as it's a longer weekend for us to enjoy our time, get some rest, be careful through this time of not just COVID, but obviously flu and everything going on. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. All right, you guys may start. If you have a question, so it's like, hey, Ms. Crowell, I really don't understand this question. Okay, I'm not going to do it for all of them, but if you sincerely have a question, you can come up, walk up with your book, and I'll try to explain it a little bit. All right, you guys may begin on that. Yes, sir. Not right now, no. No. You guys can quietly work on those assignments. Yes, sir. An alchemy teacher? Teaching potions and stuff? No. All right, discipliners, if you have any questions, let me know. Yes, it is page 149, section review 14.1, questions 1 through 4. Thank you, Jezreel, for putting that in there. Okay, make sure all of you throw your name in the chat so I know you're here and can mark you as present. If you're not, I do have to mark you as absent, whether you said you were on the stream or not. So make sure you stay with that. I will announce, so stay on the stream. Okay, work on that homework. It's considered classwork right now. If it's not done, then you do it at home. I know you're already home. Okay, so I guess it would be homework. Okay, but make sure you're still on the stream. Work on that. I'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes, and I will announce we'll have an essay. Okay, it won't be long, but just something to get your minds thinking just a little bit. Okay, hopefully you're all doing well. Let me know if you guys need anything. All right, just back. Ooh, I can't remember it word for word now. Did anyone write it down? Can I see it real quick? I want to try to say the same exact thing that I can read her handwriting better. I'm sorry. All right, shh. Everyone quiet. Okay, distant learners, here is your essay. Here's your essay. Okay, again, and I'll explain a little bit after I read it, but here's the essay. I'll say it a few times. If I were Martin Luther, what would you have said to the Catholic Church Council? Okay, I'll say it again. If I were Martin Luther, the man we talked about this chapter, if you don't remember who that is, okay, what would you have said to the Catholic Church Council? Okay, this is what I'm looking for. I want 3 main points. Okay, either what they said wrong and why it was wrong. Okay, what they said wrong in a verse that tells you why it's wrong. As I told the class, for an example, what do the Catholic Church believe in to be saved? Okay, they believe through works. All right, is that true? The answer is obviously no. Okay, what does the Bible say about that? There's plenty of verses. We talked about verses. Okay, I could probably quote 3 of them to you. There's probably over, 30 verses that talk about faith and works. Okay, so that's what you're doing. You want 3 things. Okay, what you would have said to the Catholic Church Council, what they were wrong about, why were they wrong? In your own words, through the verse. Okay, you can use the internet, but again, do not plagiarize. I have plenty of apps and applications where I can type in your guys' paper. It will pop up a document if you quoted their document. Okay, you can use some quotes, but I want it in your own words. Okay, you can quote the Bible. I want you to use the Bible. That's the truth. You guys should know the Bible. So having a Bible answer, that's good. All right, again, this is not due tomorrow. This will be due on Tuesday. That gives you the whole weekend. We don't have school Monday, so that gives you an extra day to do. I cannot talk, I'm sorry. Okay, this will be worth 3 quiz grades. So make sure you do it and do it well. I'm not looking for quantity. I don't need a huge, long paper. If it is huge and long, I'll read it. I don't really want to read it if it's that large, but I will. Okay, I'm looking for quality. Okay, like I said, the faith and works. All right, so say, hey, the Catholic Church believed in works. I don't believe that's true. Why? Why isn't that true? Well, the Bible says this, and explain it a little bit, and there you go. That's one answer. I've literally given you basically one answer. You have to do a little work and find that verse that I'm talking about. There's one in Ephesians, by the way, just give you hints. Bye. Okay, by the time I get to your classes, I squeak a lot, man. I can't help it. All right, distant learners, if you have any further questions, you can message me, email me, my school works, but that will be due Tuesday. Hopefully you understand. I'll try to help out any more I can. I know it's a little bit harder through camera, but you can rewind this, listen to it multiple times, so you can get that question if you need it. Okay, that's all we have for today. Make sure you turn in that section review and all your homework from this week if you haven't already. You guys have been doing pretty good, most of you, in turning stuff in. Make sure you keep on top of it. Grading period is done not next Friday, but the Friday after that, January 29th. We miss you guys. Hopefully you come back soon. We'll see you tomorrow. Jose, the homework for today is section review, page 149, 14.1, questions 1 through 4. Jezreel also put that in the chat just so you can see that. Make sure you get that essay down as well. Again, we'll see you tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions. Yes, sir, Aaron.